Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Barcha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And as you can see in the title, Prepare War. And that's pretty much what's been going on recently, right? If you've been paying attention, you know, you've been seeing that there's a lot going on, especially over there in the Middle East. But now you're having rumors, right? Concerns about a wider regional war. All right, there's concerns about this tension between, not even just tension, this war, right? These actions between Israel and Hezbollah expanding into a global war. Now, on top of that, you have countries like Russia that are also, I think recently Russia came out and condemned Israel's attacks. You also had, I don't know what the hell is going on over there, but you also had, Slacky about that, some weird stuff going on this road. But anyway, you had Russia come out and condemn Israel's attacks, and just now you had Russia came out and they just said that they reserve the right to use nuclear weapons, right? If they feel threatened, right, by any strikes that'll threaten their sovereignty, even if it's by conventional weapons. So meaning that the U.S. or NATO or any of the enemies of Russia don't have to even attack Russia with a nuclear weapon for Russia to respond back with a nuclear attack, is what they're saying. Okay, so there's a lot going on. I think just today as well, you had China that just tested an intercontinental ballistic missile. They said this was the first time since 1980. And the thing about the Chinese is usually they keep their stuff, like most, if not all the things they do are very strategic, right? They have that they like to play, let's just say, chess. So they always think before they do, they think about how their actions are perceived and interpreted on a global scale, and how that might affect them long term, short term. So they do all this planning. So for them to come out and do something like that, it's letting you know. That's why I titled the lesson Prepare War, because now you're seeing all these nations, which they've been preparing for a while, but what you're seeing now is an intense preparation by the various world powers for a war. Okay, and eventually, though, you have what it looks like two major fronts right now, one in the Middle East and one with Russia and Ukraine, but eventually it's all going to merge and unite into one. And what you're seeing pertaining to Second Ezra, the 15th chapter, around the 22nd verse on down, as Ezra mentioned, the Carmanians raging in wrath shall come and join battle with them, and they shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, right? But prior to that, the verse above talks about the dragons of Arabia coming with many chariots. So you're seeing, along with Jeremiah, right, the prophecy in Jeremiah about the least of the flock drawing them out, you're seeing prophecy play out live and direct before our faces. Of course, we understand the order of prophecy, but nevertheless, as we see these things happening, we know exactly what it's going to lead to. As a matter of fact, we know what exactly is happening, why it's happening, and like I just mentioned, what it's going to lead to. So when we see these things happening on a world scale, really it's just us checking off on a spiritual checklist. Okay, this is happening. Okay, let's look forward to this next, or let's look to this next. And every so often, the Lord turns up. There's like an escalation. It's like when you're driving, and then you go, and eventually you pick up the speed, and then you keep it there for a while, keep it there for a while, keep it there for a while, maybe slow down just a little bit, and then you pick up the speed even more. And that's what the Lord is doing, right? Habakkuk 2 and 3 in effect. So you're seeing the Lord steps on it, picks up the pace, picks up the tension, picks up the speed, and then calms it down a little bit, because at the end of the day, prophecy has to be in sync. Okay, that's the whole point. Prophecy has to be in sync. So when we see these things, we also know that on the flip side, the other things, right, that Yahushua mentioned when he told the disciples back then that don't be worried, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet, right? The end is not yet, meaning that there were still certain things that needed to take place prior to the full-on destruction. And so we know that if we're seeing signs that are going to lead to that full-on destruction now, then the things that are going to happen before that are even closer, right? Closer than we think. So now it's just a matter of, as the Lord said, watching as well as praying, because we see that, hey, our salvation is nearer than when we believed. And there should be no doubt in your mind at this point as to what is taking place right now, and really the words of the scriptures. But what's also interesting about this is, as this is happening, you know, the Lord definitely put a beautiful spirit upon us, and definitely a lot of mercy from the Lord for keeping us connected in the body, because we are able to stay alert and know what's going on. It literally feels like you're actually on a watchtower, because we're able to see. We're like one of the first people to see what is happening around the world, right? And yo, my man, move your car. What's happening around the world before even some of these news stations come out and broadcast it. Okay, so we're on top of game. You know, whatever's going on around the world, we make it our business to find out, because we are expecting certain things to happen. And that's why the Lord mentioned in Isaiah 62:6 that he has made us watchmen upon the walls of Jerusalem, which will never hold our peace. And we can't hold our peace because we're prophets. We prophesy, right? We speak on these things that are happening, and things are always happening. So if things are always happening, then we always have things to speak on. And if we always have things to speak on, then we can't hold our peace. And as a true prophet, when these signs start, you know, manifesting, and the prophecies get closer and closer, there's a certain excitement that lights up in your spirit. And instinctively you want to speak on it. Instinctively, wherever you are, you want to turn on that camera and you want to go into it, because that's the spirit of the Lord is upon us. Like Jeremiah said, it burns within you, right? The Lord's word burns within you like a fire that you can't control. So it's a beautiful thing to see the end of this place. And now when you tell people about these prophecies, what you start to see is, at least those that have common sense, it's not so far-fetched anymore, right? To talk about the downfall of this place, to talk about the possibility of nuclear war, it's not so far-fetched anymore. Though you still have some people who are in denial, and because of that, they don't even want to pay attention to what's happening. I never understood how that logic worked. Well, if I don't know about it, then it won't affect me. There's a bomb about to hit where you live, but if you don't know about it, then it won't affect you. How? What? What kind of raised in Babylon ass logic is that? You know, if I don't know about it, then literally raised in confusion. Because the scriptures tell us that a prudent man looketh well into his goings, and in the Proverbs it also mentioned that the prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. In the book of Ephesians, the Apostle Paul mentions being circumspect and walking, you know, being wise, not as fools. So we are to constantly be watching and constantly be learning to know about what's going on, so that we can be better prepared. But this is why the scriptures talk about the day of destruction coming suddenly upon the world, because the majority of the people in the world are not paying attention. And most of them is because they don't want to pay attention. They don't care. They have their own things to worry about. In their minds, they have more important things to look into. But what's more important than the world events that are going on right now? And for some, it's because they're ignorant, and rightfully so, in the sense that they don't understand why it's important to know what Israel's doing over there. They may learn about it so they can say, oh, I don't like the fact that they're committing genocide, or that they're killing people, or blah blah blah, but they still miss the bigger picture here. Yes, okay, people are dying. Yes, okay, that's a given, you know. But the bigger picture and the bigger problem here is what these triggers are going to lead to. Because very soon, you're not going to have time to worry about what's happening to people halfway across the world from you. Very soon, you're going to be worried about what's happening to you here. Because this place is going down financially. Morally, it's not even going down. It's already down. But eventually, it's going to be physical with fire. And all the infrastructure, all the things you see, the land that you... And we're talking about a major world event right here. A world war is not a light thing. World War I wasn't a light thing. World War II wasn't a light thing. And those were not with nuclear weapons. You know what I mean? Like the kind of weapons they got this time. Okay? So this World War III that's coming, this major world event, is definitely going to be a game changer for real. For real, for real. You know, but it doesn't even end there. Because then you go to 2nd Esdras 13, continuing with the prophecies, and find out that along in the midst of that comes Yahushua. So just know that by the time these major prophecies hit, up until the return of the Lord, the perspective of the world is going to change drastically. Yeah, people are gonna the Lord is gonna redefine what's within the realm of possibility and impossibility for the world very soon. But it's definitely a beautiful thing to be in a position of knowing, and not just knowing, but also believing. And if you notice, the Lord has set it up to where now that it's most important for us to all be paying attention, to be watching the signs, to be seeing what's going on. You got more and more people bugging out, you know, coming out with wayward doctrine, saying the dumbest things, more so now than ever, jeopardizing their chance at salvation. But at the end of the day, it's because the Most High has willed it so, right? The Lord has put it into their minds to behave in such a way. So there's going to be a whole lot of, as Apostle Tahar says, a shakeup. Jacob's about to be shaken up very soon. And there's, oh, that's the spirit, 144. I don't know if y'all can see it. You can get a little close to that guy right there. Yeah, you probably can't see it, but his license plate says 8144. Right? So that's the spirit right there. But the point being, very soon the Lord is about to shake things up. And it's gonna be a lot happening. If you've noticed, when the Lord triggers things, right? These little pockets of semi-prophecies, when he triggers them, it seems like they come out of nowhere. It's like all of a sudden something that you know is either light, or it was under the radar, or it was there. All of a sudden it just boom, it just explodes. And when it explodes, it just keeps on going, like rapidly. Your phone will start going off, articles left and right. This just happened, this just happened, this just happened. Whoa, whoa, whoa. So that's how the Lord does it. And these are still in the tarrying phases. So if this is what it looks like when it tarries, can you imagine what it's going to look like when the Lord sets it off full scale? You know, and people are going to be looking for, you know, trying to catch their breath, metaphorically speaking, but they're not going to have even a second to try and catch their breath, because a lot is going to be going on at once, and you're sort of going to need to even jump into like autopilot mode, to where all the things that you've learned, all the faith that you've built and amassed, it should all come into sync, so you can maneuver in these times just almost like on autopilot. Because if you're not equipped and ready for these times, you're now going to be bugging out, panicking. Oh, where do I go? Do I do this? What does this mean? Wait, should I take it? Should I not? Wait, but my family says this, and oh, yo, what? Because guess what? Here's a banger for you. You might have been one of those individuals who believed that the MOTB is not the micro C-hip and whatever. We're just bugged out in X, Y, and Z. Okay. And then all hell breaks loose, right? They bring out the implement, the mark, and you're going around, oh, yo, so do I take it? Do I not? Oh, what do I do? And then maybe you come across us, and then we tell you, no, you don't take it. Guess what? That's not what's going to deliver you anyway, because knowing is half the battle. The problem, right, where you went wrong is, even though you know not to take it, you're not going to have enough faith not to take it. Because it's not just about knowing, oh, okay, now I know that the MOTB is the mark, the C-hip, But now you face with the real challenge. The real temptation isn't about whether you know it is or not. The real temptation is whether you're going to take it or not. And taking it is going to be heavily dictated by how much faith you have, if you have faith in the Lord. So for all of you that have been moving faithlessly, whether you find out in that time that no, it's not yes, the C-hip is the MOTB, don't take it, that's still not going to be enough to stop you from taking it. Because when your family starts cracking under pressure, when you're being threatened, or you find yourself in a hard situation, it's not going to be knowledge that you're going to need to rely on to per se, but it's going to be faith. And you're not going to have enough time to go and build up your faith. As a matter of fact, the Lord might not even bless you with the faith. That's the thing. And then you find yourself in a very bad place. So damn, I got the key. I opened the chest. I picked up the device, but I don't know how to use the device. So what was all that for? And this is why it's very crucial now more than ever in this grace period, in this time of mercy, to use it for what the Lord has given it to us for. Right? The Lord gave us this time as a time of mercy to prepare our minds, to strengthen our faith, to show our diligence, to fill up our spiritual bank account, so that at that time we can withdraw from it. So what the elect are doing is they are disciplining themselves, and they are saving up, right? Depositing into that bank account. And what the rest are doing is they're just going about doing whatever they want, splurging, because they were undisciplined. They wanted to do everything else but what the Lord said we should do in this ministry. And as a result, when all hell breaks loose, you're going to find out that you got insufficient funds. Imagine that in a famine, you're praying, and you praying, and it's like trying to make a transaction, and every time you pray, nothing is happening because you got insufficient funds. Damn. Imagine the comedy of the Lord, where you're starving and you pray, and everywhere you turn, you just see labels on different areas, whether it's on a wall or on a bus or an abandoned building, and it just says insufficient funds. You're being chased by a gang of wild ninjas, you know what I mean by that. And you're praying for the Lord to deliver you, and all of a sudden you turn around and see a sign that says insufficient funds. And that means that you about to get messed up. Here it is, you cut the alleyway and you see the diddler. This nigga Diddy waiting for your ass. Oh shit. I just throw that one in there, my fault. But anyway, the point is, you run from Meek, you see Diddy. And here it is, you praying for help, and no insufficient funds. So at that point, it's a wrap for you. Okay, but for the elect, it's not going to be so. But anyway, I'm at my destination. I just wanted to speak on that real quick. Going back to the topic, we're in the time of major prophecies unfolding, and the Lord moves quick. So now is the time to be alert, to be on point more than ever, and to stay in the spirit. So Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.